Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. If you're joining me, I am live. It is Wednesday. I do this weekly live every Wednesday at noon Mountain Time. So hopefully you can join during your lunch hour and enjoy a little bit of crafting and relaxation. If you are at home or have your craft stuff with you, it's always fun to craft together. Today I'm going to be playing with some more embossing folders and techniques. I'm sure I have done some of these in the past, but it's always fun to come back and revisit and do it again in a new way or just different cards, whatever. So hopefully it'll be something new for you, or it'll inspire you to try it for yourself with whatever supplies you have on hand. It is November and there was just a release of new online exclusives. So if you go to my store, you can see those. They're really fun new stamp stuff, and there's a new kit as well. So if you're ever curious what those things are, if you go on the store and you go into online exclusives, you can see everything that's available there. Other than that, let's get turned around. It's going to be a messy one. I'm just warning you. My office, I think my dogs have all sorts of stuff all over them. We're using gold leafing today, so it is, you have to be careful because it's it flies everywhere. It gets everywhere. But it's gold, so, you know, it's not like it's dirty or anything. So anyways, it's a messy one. Let's get you turned around and we'll get started. All right. And hopefully we don't have any freezing up today. You never know. Let me make sure I have a bit of a cold, so hopefully my nose won't run away on us. All right. Okay. First try, pulled it up. Woohoo! All right, so today I'm playing with mostly the sending chair. I do have a bit of the Very Cute stamp set in there because, you know, those bears are just so cute. And I also, I think I've pulled this out before. I'm not 100% sure. It is in the mini catalog, but it is easily missed. Oopsie. Whoopsie. So if you're ever looking to see what embossing folders there are, you can go into the back of the catalog, whether it's the mini or the regular annual, and there's a whole section of embossing folders. So this one says it's on page 33, so if you want to see it being used or some samples. So here's the sending chair set, and then this embossing folder is just kind of on its own. This is just a stamp set. It's a super cute stamp set, but they've used it in this card over here and here, but you know, it's easy to miss. So I'm going to be playing with that today. I am going to be using one other folder just to do one of the techniques, because when there's words, you can't do the technique I'm going to show you with this one, because if you reverse it, then all your words will be reversed. So that is why I'm showing you, but I ended up, so I made the background. I ended up using this one for my background for the card I made, but I just want to show you using this one. All right. November host code is here. If you are looking to shop, if your order is over $200, do not use the host code. Use your benefits and get all the perks you can get. Yeah, now I need to find... I'm like working on so many different projects at once. My room my desk is a mess, and it's so hard to find things. It gets lost very easily because there's just like piles on top of piles. All right, so I've got some basic white, just the regular white paper. And we are going to take our Big Boss here. Let's put it this way. So hopefully you can get most of it in view. And then we have our embossing folder. And the first thing we're going to do, I'm just wondering what order. I was going to do this first, but it's quite a messy one. Anyways, we'll do it. We'll make a mess. I should have not pulled this up yet. I'm stuck. There's something sticky on my paper. That is not good. Oh dear. Okay, this is from last week and I didn't pull out a new piece. I shouldn't. Let me just grab a small piece here, because we wouldn't want to get our fresh projects all messy and sticky. I'll just put that on top of the stick. And then we've got our paper and we've got our embossing folder. Now, I am going to, you can do this several different ways. I would not recommend using a blending brush. You can go direct ink to folder with your stamp pad, or if you have a brayer, not the foamy brayers, but like a solid brayer, you can use that to put ink on. I will show you with the brayer with another one that I'm doing. So for this one, I'm just gonna go ink, and I'm gonna ink it on the Stampin' Up side, because that is where the words are debossed, so they're inside, and the flat part is where the ink is gonna go. So you can see. Oh, and if you're watching, please say hi. Oh, there. Okay, I do see there, Linda and Marcy. Hello, hello. All right, it's working. And then I'm just gonna put my paper down like so. And I'm gonna try and not move it. Then I'm gonna reuse this, so I don't want to close it. I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna grab my Big Boss here. And then because this isn't a 3D plate, all it takes is 2 clear plates. And then we just run it through and make you a little seasick while I do so. All right, then I'm going to pull this out and we're going to see how it did. Let's see. So it still has some bluey, it's not solid. I want it solid. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to move my plates because I don't want to get my plates all inky. And I'm going to come, this is the same side that I inked. I'm going to leave my paper there and I'm going to hold it so it doesn't fall down. If it comes out, that's okay, because it's like a puzzle piece. You just stick it back on and it gets placed kind of right back where it was. And then, so you can see it's like holding because the words are in behind it there. Okay, so we'll bring the machine back. Make sure that your folder edge is always going through the way you're rolling it. You don't want to break that spine. Over time, so I'm going to break like if you make a mistake and do it once or twice, but it will break it down over time. So just be aware when you're doing that. Okay, and then we've got, so it does get some of the ink depending on how much, you can see how well it holds. I just don't want to get my fingers all inky, so I'll try and pop it off. It's okay if the back gets a little bluey. All right, I'm going to wipe this because I need this folder again, not with the blue. And you're gonna think, You might think that the colors that I've chosen for this are not colors that I would normally choose, and they're not. I am, for those of you who watched last week, there is the 30-day Christmas card making challenge, and I am trying to get them done before I am away. So hopefully I will have 30 Christmas cards. So this, these colors are for tomorrow. They're one of the color combo challenges. So it's not my, like, look at all this blue. You know what would be good is if you sprayed it with some water and used another piece of paper and ran it through and really got good use out of all that ink. Normally I would rinse this underwater and it just all goes super nice. So normally I wouldn't use all this effort and baby wipes, but I don't have a sink handy for my filming. It would be nice. If Yolan's watching while you're building your craft room, make sure you have a sink in your room. All right. So now we've got our, look at, I told you this is a messy one. Let me close this. We're going to set this aside. And I really like how it pops with the white. I tried doing, for another card last week or sometime, I tried rubbing the white pigment ink, Whisper White pigment ink, but it just, because it's not a 3D embossing folder, it's not quite deep enough, and you end up getting some white on your color. So I mean, it looks kind of distressed, but it wasn't the look I was going for. So I think this way, you do get a bit of the color onto the words, but your words pop way more than trying to do it the other way. So I decided this was the way I liked better. All right, then my other colors that I had to work with are Melon Mambo and Old Olive. And I'm like, yeah, not my cup of tea, but that's okay. So I took so there's no theme when there's a color combination, it's just the color combo, so you can do anything with that. So I took this ending chair and I decided to use the presents. And I'm gonna, I could just show you the card, but I was gonna go over this one more time. If you missed my video for perfectionists, this is one of the dies that I would say are more difficult to see through when you're trying to line it up to cut. So if you are fussy about having a nice even white around your die cut, then keep watching and I will show you, remind you if you forgot, if you haven't used it, you know, if you don't play with it, and even if you do play with it, like if I do it, I'll remember it and then it kind of goes out of my head if I'm not constantly doing something. So it's easy to not remember. I'll just go this way. Okay. And then it has, so this is kind of a two-step stamp in some ways. So it's got the bow and the filler. And I'll try not to get my head in. Now if you, I didn't leave enough room. Okay, I'll show you on this green one. Definitely not perfection here. All right. Okay, so then we'll stamp. If you really wanted to get things lined up in your stamping, the Stamparatus would be a good thing to have if you have one in your stash before they took them away. And, all right, now where did I put it? Right here. So I cut out one of the presents just freehand, but I will show you if I can find my die here. Oh, here it is. Let me just pop out these extra pieces. Okay, so as you can see, if you were to line this up, this is one of those things where this part is difficult. I think it's lined up, but I don't know. So if you're a person where it's like, I don't know, the pigment ink is too thick. Yeah, you wouldn't want to, I just meant, so I tried rubbing like with a sponge dauber or just very lightly with a really well inked ink pad, rubbing it over, which I'm going to show you rubbing it over in a sec with Versamark. You'll still get that little bit of distressed look. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, the pigment ink is thick and it makes it harder. So here is, so yeah, you can't really tell. You can, you can try and line it up based on the bottom, but you really aren't sure what you're going to get on the top. So if you pre-cut or if you cut one out, then you'll have like a little frame. And I just have, oops, I need to put that on a plate or it's not going to do much for us. Okay. Well, I need our cutting plates, not the embossing plate. Okay, so I don't know, can you see that? So the sun decided to come out, which I love the sun, but it makes it really hard to get a good video. So anyways, so this is basically like having a puzzle piece. You could tape down both. I'm lazy. I just fit it in here and then it kind of locks it in. So once it's locked in, you know you've got your positioning right. So you can see it doesn't look like, I probably wouldn't have lined it up like that. Now, let's see if it actually is working or if I have it lined up funny because I was lazy. You know, you could tape down your die if you're worried about it moving. You can do as much or as little as you want, depending on how picky you are. So you can see I got a pretty darn good even cut around my bow, around my... So it really does help to have that when you have things like this that hide what you've stamped. It's really hard to get a sense of where, like, I wouldn't have put it like this. To me, it looks off. So just a reminder that that makes your life easier if you do your die cutting and you want a nice, even, centered cut. Okay, so now that I've showed you that, I don't think I need to show you anything else. We'll pull out the finished card. So here's my finished card with the colors of requirement. So you can see I kind of hid, I don't know if my embossing folder is deeper on one side or what the heck, but or maybe because this is the last part to go through. I wonder if I put it through sideways. I don't know, it'd be something to look at because this side seems to be clearer than this side. Anyways, I covered the less clear side and I kept the nicer part, covered it with a deckled circle die cut and just added the For You. This is all from that Sending Cheer stamp set For You. Stamped it, cut it. It's all good. So that's the first card. And that's playing with the embossing folder. Next, we'll do the less messy one first. We'll leave the messiest for last. How about that? Okay, so I will show you with this one, but then I end up using this one. You'll see. Okay, so I've got the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder, and we don't, it's not in the catalog. Oh, no wonder it's not gold. I crapped the wrong one. I crapped copper. I'm like, this really isn't very shiny. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, I used copper. That's okay. We'll just go with it. There was a silver, a gold, and a copper in this that we used to carry. So I just dug it out because we don't have any metallic inks right now. It looks like I used the white on here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Anyways, all right. So again, you could drag this on like we did with the blue, but because there's so many different variations in height, this is where a hard brayer really comes in handy. This is an old Stampin' Up! Purchase, but you can find this at Michael's. I've seen them. They're Speedball. You can get them anywhere, and it doesn't, like, the brand doesn't matter. You just want a hard one. And then you're just going to ink up your brayer, and you're just going to keep coming back. And this way, you're not getting it into the grooves. I did try with just the ink pad, and I had a whole area here where it's really distressed, where it went down. So this gives you a really nice, it only inks that top part, and you can be fairly rough with it and not worry about it going down into it. Okay, and then I got my piece of white cardstock again, and I'm going to line it up here, close the door. So on the other one, I inked it on this side, on the Stampin' Up! Side. This one, I'm inking it on the back side. And get our Big Boss. We've got our plates. So this one's a 3D, so we just have our, I'll turn it over so you can see. We have just our plate and our gray 3D embossing folder plate. That's all you need when you're doing the 3D. And I'm going to run it through. And once again, you can run it through multiple times till you're happy with how inked up it is. Let's just, I want to open it so it's stuck on the other side. There. And it's pretty good. But again, you could go over it over and over. But now that explains to me why it didn't look overly gold. I was like, oh, no wonder Stampin' Up! Discontinued carrying this. But nope, it's my bad. I don't know if you can see. It is shiny in real life. And I don't know. So it says my iPad is on. Is it really dark to you guys? What determines which side you ink? Okay, so this is where I was going with this. This now is inked on the debossed side. So rather than having the ink, so if I had done it on the Stampin' Up! Side, my ink would be on the surrounding, and the raised parts would be white, just like with our blue here where it's white, and then the debossed background is blue. So same here, if I had done it on the Stampin' Up! Side, the debossed part, so all of these, it would have way more copper to it. This way I did it on the inserted, so it's on the raised edge, and so it's it's actually backwards. It's meant to go this way, but you can use it however you want. Now, I wanted to do this technique to show you, but I was using this background, and of course you can't, anything with words, you can't do it this way, because if I were to do it this way, where my copper was in the words, you can see that my words would all be mirrored backwards. So you can't do it with words, which is why I did it with just a repetitive, oh my gosh, design. Is holy moly. Sometimes it's scary how bad my words are. All right. So I'm gonna, here, I'll even show you because, no, I'm not gonna do another one. Otherwise it'll take me too long. But hopefully you get the gist of what side. So you can do either side. It just depends what look you're going for. Okay, so we'll pretend that I'm using this one. Now, the thing you can do when it's debossed like this is you can add color. So if you don't want your other color to be white, you can then, which I need to get some more baby wipes. Going through the baby wipes today. Yeah, it's crazy. I buy the Costco pack of baby wipes with no babies in the house. Actually, it lasts me a really long time, but use them on the dogs. Use them for crafting. Baby wipes are handy. All right, and I know what this is from. This is powder. See, I'm telling you, these projects today are like uber messy. Uber messy. Okay, so I've got white paint on here. Normally it doesn't have a white roller, but that's okay. It's dried. It's all good. It's not going anywhere. Okay. So, do I want to change the color? No. Actually, you know what? I did pink on another one. I'm going to try with a dark brown. I want to see if the copper pops, and then I'll show you the pink version. So again, you're going to put your ink on your brayer, and you're just going to, ooh, look at that. And because, now you don't want to push too hard, but again, it's a solid roller, so it's not going to go into the grooves like if you were using a sponge dauber or a whatever. So cool, hey? I don't know if you can see, it doesn't, the copper doesn't really have that much shine to it. Not as much as I would hope. But anyways, that makes for a really cool look, right? Tell me that's not cool. So here's the pink version. This one I did more layers of the copper, and maybe that's why it does have more sheen to it than this one. So maybe I should have done several layers of the copper. Same way that you did several layers of the blue. You just do it the opposite way. And I'm just gonna set this somewhere where I'm not gonna stick my hand in it. Okay, over here you go. All right, so those are the backgrounds. Then, where did my white? Mr. White's piece of paper. Oh well. All right. Then I needed something on my background. So I have the cute gingerbread guy and the ginger, or lady, I should say. It has the cute heart stamps for the buttons on him, her. Apparently my gingerbread's a him, but it's not because I used pink buttons. So my gingerbread lady, I should say. This, I'm using pecan pie, which is like the perfect gingerbread color. They should call it gingerbread, not pecan pie. I'm sorry. That is the ultimate gingerbread color. if I do say so myself. Then I've got my bubble bath for my buttons. You could color in the white icing too if you wanted to make that pink. And then there's a cute face that goes with this guy. I mean, it's pretty much a drawn face. Anyone could draw it, but it just is easy and cute. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I have my gingerbread lady, and I have, let's pull out here. So we've got the die for the gingerbread. Now you'll notice, so this set is meant to create tags, so it has a funny bubbly thing. This one, I don't know for sure. You could use it as a label. You could, I'm using it as a cookie sheet, whether that's what it is. This die set is awesome. There are so many things you can make out of this. I was going to say next week, but I won't be here next week. I'm going to be posting, I'm going to try and post some replays for you while I'm away. But there's like this pom-pom can be a pom-pom or it can be a flower. You can make elf, you'll see, because I'm going to use it for some of my cards, but like there's a whole bow here. Just, there's so many things you can create if you get creative. Okay, so what happens through the magic of television is we have our cookie sheet and our gingerbread. We just happen to have one of those fancy gold cookie sheets. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the tag part off, and you'll never know it was there. Ta-da! Okay, so I've got my cookie sheet. I got my gingerbread lady. She's a little big for the cookie sheet, but that's okay. Then I won't bore you. So, like I said, I originally made this one. I thought it was a little busy. I ended up using, so I did the same thing where I used the copper on the back of this one. What is it called? It is called Christmas Tidings Embossing Folder. Oh, these wet wipes. Yeah, so I put the copper on the Stampin' Up side, ran it through. I ran it through 2 times, 3 times maybe. I think it needs re-inking, but either way, it's got shine. My words pop. It's all good. And it just happened that Christmas is here, so I put this Christmas on top, and then I added the Sending Cheer, which is from the Christmas is not from this set. It came from the More Wishes. I love this. There's one in the annual catalog, The Biggest Wish, that has thank you and happy birthday and that kind of stuff. So they made a matching one for the holidays. So yeah, same but different. This one's debossed, this one's not. I just decided it looked better, so I didn't end up using that background. But you now have another background that you can make something different with. All right, next is the super uber, like we're not messy enough already. We're gonna get messier. You ready? It's a good thing you guys have the screen in between you and me, because it's messy. All right, I need, where did I just put it? Here. I need my embossing folder, and I need, so I'm going to be using the heat and stick powder, which, you know what, I didn't make sure it's still in the annual catalog. I'm pretty sure it is. I have a lot of troubles with this powder. I don't know, do you guys use the heat and stick powder? I had to use, I had to put 2 layers of it on, because otherwise I find the gold leafing doesn't stick well to it, no matter how fast I am. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that Yeah, we still have it. Heat and stick. It's used to adhere gilded leafing and embellishments. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You guys can let me know. You don't have any heat-based tools. What? You don't have a heat tool? How is that possible? Are you not allowed to have? No. Oh, is it because of the difference in power? I'm learning all about that as I'm buying an adapter, and then there was like a converter, and then it's like, what's the difference? And only if you need like a hair dryer or a toaster or a, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay, so I'm opening up. I have a big dish of some gilded leafing. I have it in a big, deep Tupperware, because otherwise it flies. Like if I were to like make a breeze, it would just kind of floof up and fly everywhere. So we don't want that. Okay. Oh, I should have done this ahead of time. I never even realized. Oh, so I'm going to just run this through as is. So no, I'm not putting anything on it right now. If the words were the other way, I totally could run it the other way, but it's not. So we've got our 2 plates. Just run it through. Okay. Should have done that before I opened my gilded leafing. All right, so we've got our, can you see that? Oh, why is it so blurry? Hopefully, is it super grainy on your guys' end? I don't know what's going on. It's not focusing. Oh, maybe because it's so bright. I even have the blinds closed. Hang on, I'm gonna close the blinds even more and see if that helps. Oh, that helps. That helps. Oh, should have been doing that the whole time. All right. I feel like I'm crafting in the dark now, but apparently it's still getting grainy. Anyways, hopefully it's good for you guys because it's not looking so great over here. All right. This is where you need your Versamark and your powder. You're going to want something, a sheet of some sort, to put your powder on, since all my trays are being used. So again, you've got options. You can be very ginger and you can rub your Versamark across. You can use the brayer, which I'm going to, oh, I wasn't going to use it, and I set it aside because it was full of, let's just clean this off. Because I want to get as much Versamark on here as I can. The heat and stick powder, just like I said, you need a lot of it for it to really hold that gilded leafing. I don't know, maybe my powder just is old, but I don't think so because it's a new, I'm pretty sure I even bought a new one because I thought maybe it was because my stuff was old, because I had a really old one that I had from before. They had taken it away and then they brought it back when they brought out the gilded leafing. All right, I think I've got it all. Well, you might get some. Oh dear. Okay, so again, we're gonna get this all. And I still want to be careful because there are such big spaces. I don't want to get too crazy. Oopsie. Oh, and then one thing I did forget. I was so good with all the embossing, heat embossing I was doing. I was using my static tool, and then I go and do this, and I forgot to run it through. Oh, well. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. It's all shiny. I'm going to come in, and I have gilded leafing all over this, inside this container, because, you know, it just went everywhere. All right. And I don't know, here, I'll try and show you once I get it on. I don't know if you can see, there is a bit of powder in places that it doesn't belong, but that's okay because it's just going to give it a distressed kind of look. So I've got this powder ready. You want to be ready with your leafing. I'm going to leave my leafing to the side here so I don't blow it. I've got my heat tool, and I need my tweezers so I don't burn my hands. Then I'll just, oh my goodness, it is so blurry. It's not a 3D what plates to use. You just use, so you take away your cutting plates, the little white thin one. So you have just the base plates, the white big base plate, and then you use 2 clear plates. Just regular cutting plates. I keep 2 separate from my cutting stuff, and I use it just for embossing so that it doesn't have any dents and grooves and stuff that can transfer onto my paper. So 2 clear plates when it's not 3D, and then you use just the gray plate when it's a 3D. And I don't know if you can see it. Why? Why? You guys haven't said if it's blurry on your end. Let me know. So I'm going to heat it up real good. Get it all, and maybe I should do half at a time. I don't know. It's hard, because you have to get it in there while it's still hot and melted. All right, we're gonna go quick. Here's the bucket, and we're gonna go down. And we're just gonna try and get, you can see if I push down too fast, it just like, whoop, comes up. All right, it looks like we've got some sticking. I'm just gonna rub it with my fingers. I don't think it worked. I might have to do it again. I'm not liking the look of this. Let's see. Okay. So then I've got another dish, but it has my sponge here. And I'm just gonna, yeah, it's stuck, but not, well, it's not too bad. Let's see what we end up with when we're done our scraping. The Christmas worked well. See, this is why I had gold in my powder, because I redid the powder once I had already, like this, and then I redid it again. But this actually, I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either. Depends how much gold you want. I'm not going to do it over again right now because that'll bore you guys. You saw how to do it. And actually, it's not bad. It's got a nice kind of gold look to it. I will try and get a better, let me just get the gold leafing closed up so we don't have gold everywhere. All right. Can we see that? It's got a nice look to it. So that's another option for your embossing folders if you've got some gilded leafing and a heat tool. Marcy, I don't know. We'll have to come up with some options for you. You can't have glue. You don't have a heat tool. So do you have any kind of hair dryer? Like, do they have hair dryers that you can use there? I wonder if it would take a long time though. Okay, so I don't think I have to make this one for you guys. Here's the finished. So you can see I just did the rubbing technique here, so it did get a lot more on the edges, and I did do it twice because I wanted more gold on it. So it does have more gold, but I think this is actually quite pretty. It's very subtle. And then I heat embossed the gold. So this is all from that very cute stamp set. There's a snowflake and the little bear and the tree. I just like how kind of comic booky there. I don't know. It's cute, but elegant at the same time. And then the Merry Christmas. So it's all the stamps from this set, but so you can see with this embossing holder, you can have it portrait or landscape. It works both ways, which is kind of nice. So yeah, that is the third card and embossing folder technique. So here are the 3 cards. Here's a reminder of what this one stemmed from. We just couldn't do it with the words. But yeah, so hopefully you guys will go play. Marcy, you can do these too. Maybe not this one. There's actually, I can't remember. Do you use glue with your gilded leafing? Oh, thanks, Linda. I think it was, I can't remember. I did use something else to do the gilded leafing when the heat and stick powder wasn't working great. Anyways, if I figure it out, I will let you know. I did not, maybe you probably told me before you didn't have a heat tool, but I really, it didn't clue in. So I'm clued in. I'll have to figure out an option for you if you have the gilded leafing, or maybe you do. Maybe you already know how to do it. You own a hairdryer. You could always try and see if that would work, but I don't think it gets hot enough. Or you'd have to hold it so close. You'd probably burn the paper and yourself. Anyways, that is what I have for you. There will not be lives the next couple weeks, but there will be replay of old. I'm going to find some Christmas cards from last year. I don't know if I have 2 years worth now of videos or 1. I feel like there might be 2. So anyways, I'm going to try and post some replays for you so you can get some more ideas for making your Christmas cards. And hopefully you have a great November, and we'll see you in December. Thank you. Yes, I will let Gavin know. All right, take care. Bye.